And I'm here today with Nadine, and she's been doing well inside our Total Life Fitness program. And today she's going to share a little bit about her experience and her wins. So, Nadine, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're struggling with prior to joining Total Life Fitness.
I have I joined the program because I was having a hard time with my energy level. And I have an office job that I've worked for over 35 years. So I understand that because I sit a lot, I have a very sedentary lifestyle. And as I was raising my kids, I was always on the go. So staying active was never an issue. But as the kids became adults, moved on with their own lives, I found that I was just going to work, sitting at my desk, going home, and not being productive at home either. So I was getting really down and I wanted to get that energy back up and going again. So I was trying to figure out, I really don't care to go to a gym. That's not I've never been consistent with it. So I was looking for something different to do and to see if there was something that I could find that would maybe work with my lifestyle a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you sharing that about the energy and everything. So, ultimately we connected, you joined our program. So, you know, did you have any hesitations around joining and why did you ultimately decide to join?
My hesitation was that I was going to be I didn't have somebody physically with me. And that is one thing that I've always had to have is like somebody right there and have accountability. But Lexi helped me to be accountable. You know, she was constantly checking in with me. If she didn't hear from me, she's like, "What's going on? Where are you? Are you doing your exercises or do you have any questions?" So she was really good with that part of it and making me feel comfortable. Not like she was never pushing, but she was always there if I needed her.
Awesome. Yeah, always good to have that support system. So now I've been doing it for a while and I've obviously made some progress. So let's share a little bit about your wins and lessons.
So I would say my wins are feeling more comfortable in my own skin. I've never truly struggled with my weight over the years, but I was at a point where I was like, oh, I can't keep going this direction. I'm not comfortable with this. So I need to get back where I was. And that's where I'm at. I'd still like to go a little bit more, lose a few more pounds, but I'm definitely feeling better about it. So I am down a little bit more on my weight and my measurements as well. But I think one of my biggest wins is I've always eaten semi-healthy, but my proportions weren't right. And what I was eating together wasn't right. So it really made me think about it, especially packing my lunch to go to the office every day. I have certain containers. I know how much everything weighs. I know what I can have. And so going to work it's not a struggle with me packing a lunch any longer. So I still always at night have to really think about it because I'm cooking for two of us at home. So, I have to be mindful about those kind of things. But I feel more educated, like, okay, here's what I can have. And I actually like these foods. So I think that's a win on learning those kind of things.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of good wins, fitting better in clothes, learning more about food and portions. So awesome. So, obviously I've made a lot of positive changes. And how about energy levels? So energy levels better too.
My energy is definitely better. You know, obviously you have those days where it's like, oh, am I going to get through this work day today or not? But yeah, definitely have more of an energy level and, being nicer outside at night, I get outside and can do more. But I I do feel better overall.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And now that you've been in our program for a while, and for anyone who's on the fence, who's kind of thinking, should I do this? Should I not? Why would you recommend Total Life Fitness to someone else?
I would recommend it just because you might think like I thought I knew what a healthy lifestyle was because I really thought I had that. Well, I did, but I would always hear everyone talking, well, you need to eat more protein, you need to do this or, watch these things. I truly had no idea what they were talking about. And now that I do, it really does make a difference. It makes a difference on how I feel every single day because I'm looking at the protein on all of my meals. And now that I've got my head wrapped around it, I know what I like and how much I can have of everything. So I think, especially women, as we get older, our bodies change and our energy levels change, and the more we can learn about it is beneficial. And you and Lexi have both been very helpful on providing different recipes that help us, different exercises that help. For me, with back issues, it was definitely helpful.
Awesome. Yeah. So happy to hear about all those wins, and thanks so much for sharing that and for your time.
You bet. Absolutely. Thank you.